This is a podcast from the Business Times.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, July 8th, 2026. From the Business Times news desk, here are your headlines. What you need to know. The U.S. launches a new wave of strikes on Iran and revokes its oil sanctions waiver after Iran attacks 3 tankers, including a Qatari LNG vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. Indonesia and India sign landmark defense deals in Jakarta, including the BrahMos missile system. Singapore commits 800 million Singapore dollars to transform its transport sector over the next 5 years. In world news, the Iran ceasefire is under severe strain this morning. Iran attacked 3 commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz yesterday, a Qatari LNG tanker, the Al Rikayat, a Saudi supertanker believed to be the Wedyan, and a third unspecified vessel. A fire broke out in the Al Rikayat's engine room after a drone strike. Crew were safe and being evacuated. Qatar summoned Iran's deputy ambassador and handed him a formal protest note, calling the attack a violation of international law. In response, U.S. Central Command launched what it called a series of powerful strikes on Iran early this morning, Singapore time, targeting air defense systems, coastal surveillance systems, surface-to-air missiles, anti-ship cruise missiles, and drone launch sites. CENTCOM said Iran's aggression was, and I quote, unwarranted, dangerous, and a clear violation of the ceasefire. The U.S. Treasury simultaneously revoked the sanctions waiver allowing Iran to sell oil and petrochemicals, giving Tehran until July 17th to wind down existing transactions. Iran's foreign ministry called the revocation a breach of the framework agreement and said it would take any measures it deems necessary to safeguard its interests. Nigel Farage resigned from the British Parliament yesterday, announcing he will recontest his seat following revelations about financial gifts he received from a billionaire cryptocurrency investor and from a political ally once convicted of wire fraud in the United States. In the region, Indonesia and India signed a series of strategic agreements in Jakarta yesterday during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit, the most substantive push in years to deepen their bilateral partnership. The headline deals cover the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile system and air-to-air missiles, paving the way for major Indian arms exports to Indonesia. Analysts described it as a significant step for a relationship that has long underperformed its potential. China has been holding meetings with top technology firms over the past month about potentially restricting overseas access to its most advanced AI models, a move that would mirror U.S. controls on American AI technology and signals Beijing's intent to treat cutting-edge AI as a strategic national asset. South Korea's finance minister met with the central bank governor and financial regulators today to coordinate a response to rising stock market volatility, driven by foreign and institutional profit-taking and shifting expectations on the global AI sector. In Singapore, the government will invest 800 million Singapore dollars in the transport sector over the next 5 years. Acting Transport Minister Jeffrey Xiao announced yesterday, the funding is designed to transform how transport operates, strengthening Singapore's position as a global logistics hub in companies and markets. Oil jumped on the overnight escalation. U.S. crude futures rose 2.7% to $72.40 a barrel in early Asian trade this morning. Gold eased slightly to $4,100 an ounce as the stronger dollar and rising oil prices weighed on the metal. South Korean chipmakers Samsung and SK Hynix rebounded this morning after early losses, Samsung rising as much as 1.4% and SK Hynix climbing as much as 5.8%, as investors bought the dip following Tuesday's sharp sell-off. And stocks we're watching include Fraser's Property, ESR REIT, and Foundation Healthcare. For updates throughout your day, visit bt.sg. And don't forget to check in with our wrap podcast, Market Focus Daily, at 6 this evening for the day's market movements.
This is a podcast by the Business Times. Find more BT podcasts at businesstimes.com.sg/podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.